Hello, finally, here we are. It looks like we're live. I believe we're live. Wow. Hello, everybody. Ooh, my eyes look baggy. Anyway, I haven't slept very much. I'll work on that. Anyway, maybe I should turn the lights low. It's not really. Oh yeah, it looks so much better now. The quality is awful. It is what it is. So, something about a playlist or something like that, I thought. It'd be cool if I could do some music. And I can share the screen. So I'm just kind of getting used to this. I haven't gone live in a really long time. And of course, YouTube has undergone a whole bunch of updates. And so I'm just checking this out. And all right, so I have got to clean up my screen if I'm about to share it. So hold on a sec. I'll just start messaging people on my phone that want to see me because nobody's here, obviously. Okay. Let's see how we do this. See, I'm just starting out. Let's get down to business. Yeah. So what did I want to talk about tonight? So, of course, we're having a eclipse, and people are like, it's an eclipse for some reason. I don't know. I'm not hearing that pun. I'm just hearing talk about people, like Christian people, saying that there's a rapture coming or something like that. Like they're worried that like the rapture's like gonna happen now, and like maybe like some people will be left behind or something like that. I don't know. Like, isn't like most people going to be left behind if there's a rapture? I think so. Oh my gosh. So let's see. So first topic. So this is a attempt to do shadow work for the collective with the collective. So it's not only for everybody. I'm not pointing a finger at any group of people necessarily to do shadow work. It's just all of us. So if I point a finger, 3 fingers are pointing back anyway. It's all of us. So I am not separate from the collective. Just as a disclaimer, anything that I say about what's going on with the collective also is affecting me. So before you start getting really upset about anything that I say on here, for one thing, I know that once it's been said, it cannot be unsaid. Once if I say something that is like inappropriate, then some people may become very disturbed. There may be some drama or talk about that, and hey, I may never live it down. So I'm going to try to mind what it is that I say and how I say it, who I say it about, all that fun stuff. Wow. So how do we do some music on here? I think that would be kind of fun. Let's see. What's our options? It said something about a playlist, I swear. And I picked a playlist, but I'm not seeing that. Let's see. So where's the link? Is there a link I can send to people? Share screen. Let's see. I gotta make sure that all the incriminating things are off my screen. So just make sure. It's not like I have criminal evidence of anything. I just want to make sure that I don't put anything wrong on here, anything that's like misleading, unhelpful, etc., etc. And so I'm going to definitely get some images up here. I might as well actually get in through, okay, let's see. We can discuss, we can say that we're now live, I guess, on the chat thing. So there's going to be a lot of dead air since this is my first one. So I'm just trying to see what I can do musically. I guess it doesn't really matter if I just play it on a separate speaker for now. You know, at least get something interesting going. And of course, I'm having a lot of tech like fumbles going on right now. I'm 40 minutes late to start the stream. But that's okay. I know I'm just kind of talking to myself right now, and that's fine. That's fine. All right. All right. So, looking for any communications through the Facebook or any of that, because that's where I've made all of my announcements for this. Nobody's here, of course. But there should be some people here soon. Don't you just love how my eye looks close up? I just think it's kind of nifty. Oh my gosh. So there is a esoteric Gnosticism group that I have been on, and it is a private group. I guess it's not cool to like show some things from it. I don't know. I'm just trying to bring up some things. This is just such a good topic, though. I mean, okay. Of course, I'm stuffy for some reason. I think it's just this New York air. It's just like, I don't know. I shouldn't even talk about where I'm at. Yeah, that's all right. New York's big. That's what's up. You know, so thank you. Hello, Karlovina. Nice to see you. Karlovna. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't pronounce your name right. Yes, tech stuff definitely happens. And yeah, you know, the more that I dig into the dark underbelly of the collective and the history of religions and how they have actually really messed with us psychologically, and how much we can uncover, and how much sensitive, intuitive people can kind of just like be a bloodhound for some of this stuff these days. It's the days of revelation, I believe, in my opinion. It seems very much like a lot of people are giving prophecy. A lot of these tarot readers are just amazing. I mean, I don't know if their readings of the collective are going off of some playbook somewhere that they're all sharing amongst one another to actually read specific topics and happening to draw certain card combinations, but the card combos all seem to line up. A lot of the time when I look at these readers and the things they talk about, it just like sometimes it makes me just tear up, and I'm just like, oh my god, I can't breathe. I feel naked, you know, and it's just like, whoa, it's really freaky. And I've been touch and go with tarot for a really long time. I think, God, I was like, I think 17 or something like that when I got my first tarot deck, maybe 18. I was like 18 when I moved out from home. And what was it, 19? Somewhere around there anyway. In my early teens, I got my first tarot deck gifted to me when I was waitressing at a 24-hour diner doing the graveyard shift. I was gifted a Rider-Waite deck, and that was when it all started for me. And it's pretty amazing. Definitely have just been touch and go. I've never made tarot like my religion that I go to, or any of that. So, but yeah, somebody in my life just popped in one day and just started showing me tarot readings, and it just so happened that a lot of the readings that they were getting lined up with what's happening with myself, with my incarnation, and all things like that. And so, anyway, I'm kind of going off the path of what I was going to be talking about. But yeah, I mean, these days that we're in, very, very interesting times. And yeah, the AI uprising seems to happen every time I want to really lay down something that's really on point, or really getting into something that is esoteric information, and even esoteric to so-called esotericists. So this is where I get into a whole bunch of really weird arguments with people, or not arguments really, but kind of just I don't know, territorial pissing matches, where people are just like, oh, you're an idiot, you're not enlightened, you don't know anything, whatever you're talking about there, you must have just made that up and it's weird. And it's like, well, actually, I have just happened to stumble upon some things that not everybody stumbles upon. It wasn't something I made up. But if you have been around for a while and you've been looking at the internet for quite some time, you might have noticed how when net neutrality set in, a whole bunch of information was fully stripped off of the internet. Well, not fully. It went into the dark web, most likely, because what is it? 2/3 of the data on the internet is in the dark web. So I've made websites in the past and things like that have just gotten eaten up. Like even these free websites like Angel Fire, if anybody remembers things like that. Like my first website was an Angel Fire website, and it was called Heaven's Abyss. And I had made a whole bunch of really weird GIF animations in my early days of web hosting and playing with the internet. I was interested in making GIFs, and I made a lot of kooky little GIFs. Yeah, right. They want to block my message. Yes, and it happens a lot. And it's obvious that, I mean, I know who runs the internet. I do know it is a government project. I do know that information must be controlled, because that is the heart and core and reason why we have, let's call them, international conflicts, conflicts of interest. Some data just cannot fully be transmitted from one point to another because it's just, nope, it's just sacrosanct, whatever that word is. Like I probably messed up that word. So it's anathema, can't be touched, cannot go there. Nope. So, where can we start? So yoga, so let's start with that. So I'm a yoga instructor. I've been doing yoga since I was like a kid, and I thought I was making it up. I thought I was making up a little system of how to stretch your body and strengthen it and move so that you can be optimally flexible and agile and strong and toned and all this stuff. And I was like, ooh, I'm coming up with a system. And by the time I'm 11, I was like 10 when I was like, yeah, I've come up with something. Because I was in gymnastics when I was a little kid. And my mother had a high-risk pregnancy and had to stop taking me to both gymnastics and the tap and ballet classes I was taking. And so I was really bummed out. And I did not understand the concept of high-risk pregnancy when I was 6.5, 7. I was just like, what? How come I can't go to these classes because I'm going to have a sister? What kind of crap luck is that? I get a sister and then I get kicked to the curb. I was so stupidly jealous of my sister because I thought she was coming onto the planet to ruin my life. And I couldn't have been more wrong. My sister is a wonderful blessing to this world, and she was a wonderful blessing to me until she stopped talking to me. But that's a whole other topic. I don't want to go there right now. I mean, that's just what it is. Whoa, too many personal cans of worms. Anyway, so yoga is not just a practice. Let's just start with that. Yoga is an accomplishment when you actually incorporate all 8 limbs of the practice. We got 8 limbs. It's like a spider or an octopus, we got all these parts, and the first parts of yoga are not the things that we are coming to accept as yoga or expect as yoga. I have been teaching some dancing Kriya practices, dance with meditation and vocals, and it does not in any way, well, okay, a couple ways. It does not mainly represent the yoga that you might think of when you hear the word or you read the word. You might just imagine people on a yoga mat wearing particular types of fitness attire, doing particular combinations of certain particular positions of the body and postures of the body and certain movements and transitions, and it becomes like this choreography of gymnastics on a mat, which I'm not belittling this. I'm not saying that it's wrong. It's just a fragment of what we have come to understand as yoga. And sometimes when people ask me the question, what kind of yoga do you do? Or do you do yoga every day? These questions have been very difficult for me to answer from the very start, basically, of me teaching yoga. Because since I have known yoga years before I became a certified instructor, I have just kind of come to accept that yoga is a fragmented and permutated kind of situation, because we have all of these people who are trying to develop their own innovative form of it, for one thing. And so people think about the innovative forms of industry yoga and wonder what type it is that I do. What is the industry yoga kind of type that I do? So I can list off a whole bunch of industry yoga types that I have been able to teach, that are, things that I've been known, that I've just worked with and shared and practiced, and all of this, like the typical vinyasa yoga, yin yoga, restorative yoga. Like restorative and yin are very similar in that they're really slow when you hang out in a pose for a long time. It's just that the restorative yoga usually has a lot more props a lot of the time to support your body, and it's very nice. You're just kind of like resting in different poses, and it's very cushy and relaxing, and it's nice. But anyway, and there's a Kundalini yoga, which is mostly by Yogi Bhajan, right? So there's that one, which is also kind of like adopting a bit of Sikh culture, which gets a little bit controversial for the Sikh people. But anyway, so the first part of yoga is ahimsa, and that's in the yamas. So we got yamas for the first anga, the first limb of the yoga is yamas. And that's ahimsa is the first one, and that's nonviolence. That's the first thing that we should really look at. And a lot of us are having an issue with going there and being a nonviolent being, because we live in a fairly savage world where we end up in conflict quite a bit, and we've got strife. We've got a lot of strife going on, and people say that this is just the beginning of the Kali Yuga. Some other people say that we are absolutely not in the Kali Yuga. There's a whole bunch of like controversial, a lot of argument, a lot of disagreements in regard to the yugas, and that's a whole other thing too. That's in Vedic cosmology, talking about epochs or eras. There's just so much to unpack. But this is a satsang, which satsang means in company of truth. So in a satsang, what you do is basically revelatory work, where you are sharing information that has been hidden or is not commonly known, or is a common topic that may be something that we haven't really observed at length. So I know this might be boring to some of you. I want to put on some music, so at least you have some music for a minute. But we might want to do something that is just really nice and chill. Let's see. is said to be 5 fifth dimensional types of music. It's 999 hertz. I just really like this. It's so beautiful to me. But anyway, so oh my gosh. I've been on a Satan trip lately, and we're taking a whole different so yeah, of course the throat chakra is going to start getting attacked. Because this is a topic that has been a vital topic for many religions, namely the big 3 religions, the Abrahamic religions. Very important for the sales pitch to keep people in tow with the religious doctrines and beliefs and the fear factors and the threats. If the world, here's a really funny analogy, but if the world was a dungeon, like a torture dungeon, Satan would be the big paddle on the wall with spikes on it that is just like, big old wooden paddle with spikes, where it's like, you better behave the way that I expect you to behave, or else we're gonna get the paddle with the big wooden paddle with the metal spikes. Yeah, pardon me for being a little kooky, but I'm a bit sleep deprived, so went out last night with a friend. And boy, I tell you, where we went out, I still need to write a review for this place. I love writing Google reviews. I love writing good ones most of the time. I love when I have a good experience somewhere and I get to give them just like a big accolade. Just give them like big ups. Be like, yes, your place was beautiful. Your service was lovely. The atmosphere, Well, okay. I went to Oscar Wilde's last night. And I think there's a couple Oscar Wildes actually in New York. The one I went to on 27th was, it's really beautiful. It's got really wonderful decor. It's very classy. It just takes you to this wonderful bohemian, lovely place back in the day. It's got like this whole Great Gatsby kind of era vibe going on, like a 1920s flair. And it's really cool. But the thing is, the music was fucked up. It was just no. So, all right, we went there twice last night because I had to do some other things, and then we decided to before we left, we got a reservation to come back at that time so we can have a table and all that. It's really crowded. We come back and it is crowded, like super, super crowded, like to the gills, filled with college students or whatever who, just college students who are on their spring break. Oh my God. It was like schoolies night we have in Australia. It was just like, okay. The music was so bad, like the most ghetto, raunchy, lame pop music. I'm not going to name any artists, but it did not befit the atmosphere at all. The only reason why it was like so wild and out as it was that the 2 factors: we had the college students on their spring break and the alcohol. And so that, in combination with the music, we get a bunch of like people twerking and stuff in there, and I mean, it just looked really lame. Anyway, let's see here. So we'll just like go to this next little factor here. I'm gonna read something that was written by a friend. Let's see here. Well, I'll just read it. Is Satanism, Luciferianism even modern fan fiction? Is the devil a lie? Was Baphomet created not even more than 1,000 years ago by sociopathic Proud Boy Templars? This is not my words, by the way. I'm just reading it. Whoever put titties on Pan is a hoe. Would Shiva not be a more accurate representation? Was it all just a really mean ruse? I find this to be a hot topic. I mean, no disrespect to anyone's religion, sincerely. I don't claim to know much, and I would like to know more. Would like to keep the conversation on Earth for now. No Enki Enlil talk. How did this happen? So, let me just give you a little view of what we're talking about here. Let's pull up. All right, let's pull up. Ooh, I think I almost X'd out of the screen. So we will screen share. Let's see how this goes. Oh, open screen, system settings. What are we doing? I gotta put in my password. What's my password? Let's see. Okay. This is a learning curve. Alright. Is this gonna be? Nope. Okay, where's my password? Uh-oh, guys. I don't know what this is the password for. Might not be able to do it right now. What's the password? What password? Alright, let's try this one. I have a few. Nope. It is. It's the tech uprising. It's just like, all right, what is this? It's like giving me, it's like, okay, so it's got my first and last name in it. It's like, enter your password to allow this. So trying to modify your system settings. So I would think it is my Apple password. Dude. Oh, I didn't need to put in them. Check that out. I didn't even need to put in that password. It was like, put in your password. I didn't even know what it was for. Obviously, not much, because here we go. So, all right, Baphomet. So if you can see that. Okay, we got this guy here. And this is a big deal to Satanists, you know? But the thing is like, who is this guy? Thing, woman? It's like, okay, so is it like a trans kind of icon? Not that we're anti anything. Like I'm not transphobic. Like I've dated a trans before. Like I mean, I identify as transcendent. And so if you're gonna be transcendent, you best not be phobic of anyway. So this was created by Eliphas Levi, who was a Hebrew magician, mage, Kabbalistic, all that good stuff, associated with the Sabbatic goat. A whole bunch of energy has gone into this, obviously. Like this is a potent symbol, and just the potency alone inspires people to have a lot of sympathy and or reverence toward this image. And some people understand that this this bit down here. Okay, so all right, let's zoom in. Can we zoom in any more? I don't know. Let me see. Can I click it? I don't know. That's fine. Can we see it? Can you see this? Kralovna? You see it? It's here. So they say that this bit here is it's basically part of a binding. I believe very much that this is a binding. And yeah, I don't usually invest in beliefs so much. I'm kind of like a religious belief suspender if you're gonna like talk about religion. I, for one thing, don't really maintain one particular religion. I am an observer of energies and practices and correlations, and like magical correspondences and things like that go into religions. And symbolism, it's just the language of symbols is a really big deal. It affects our subconscious minds. It does a lot more to us than we realize. That's the whole magic and wonder of the subconscious mind. So this entity has been said to be binding our energies below our solar plexus. And is this a representation of us as a people? Yes and no. It's basically a representation of all things. It's like a stand-in for an all god. It is an amalgamation. It has been said that Baphomet doesn't really have one true form, that it's a shape-shifting thing, and that points to it being an egregore. Not that it is like all powerful, but that is part of its glamour, that it appears to be all powerful because it's like basically like an everything. It's male, it's female, it has an angelic look, it has a dark and foreboding look. It has a flame, like a torch, coming out of its head. It has what looks like the healing caduceus here, and it's only going there though. So like, I don't know, cue Marvin Gaye, sexual healing, sexual, like that's what we've got going on here, and that's what a lot of people want, like I've talked to a lot of massage therapists in my day, and a lot of them get a lot of customers who are of the male persuasion and are looking for a happy ending, so to speak. Why is that so happy? Is that your only happy place? A happy ending could like maybe end with a little flick on your forehead, like maybe that's a happy ending for some people. I don't know, like why does that have to be the happy place? Now we're correlating our happiness with sexual experiences so much to the point where we forget what it's like to be happy that we are in the presence of our mother or our father. We would rather be happy to be in the presence of somebody who sexually excites us. And are you happy to see me? Type of thing. Is that a banana in your pocket, or are you happy to see me? All that. So it's just, okay, that's really not where all your pleasure is. That's just a small part of your pleasure. Your pleasure can be up in your heart too, but we've got nothing going on there but a pair of interesting boobies. And yeah, they're kind of like mine. They're a little not pendulous, but anyway, it's just a part of the whole complex of keeping the idea of Satan fresh in our minds. And I'm not sure if they're actually going to even directly correlate it to Satan in this Wikipedia article, but a lot of people naturally just do that. So although occasionally purported to be a deity or a demon, since 1856, the name Baphomet has been associated with the sabbatic goat. And that is also similar to what they call the scapegoat, Azazel, or Azazel. I think it's Azazel, Azazel. So yeah, it's not a real thing. It's an egregore, it's an invention. There's really nobody that's out there floating around in space ready to get you, that is that, you know. But it's a rather potent binding, and it's definitely not me. I'm not Baphomet. I'm me, you know. But one time I was accused of being Baphomet, and that was weird. I still would like to understand why. Anyway, so the origin of Satan is a very interesting thing, and I'm not really sure if you're ready for that tonight, but we can talk about it a bit. You know, it is only 11 o'clock, and we've got some time to kill here. All right, so let's see. We'll stop sharing the screen for a moment, and you know, we can talk just face to face about. So this whole Satan thing really started out in ancient Judaic court, in ancient Hebrew Jewish courts, and it was an office, it was an occupation. And that's a really interesting thing in itself. That, I mean, how did we come from it being a occupation in a court, like kind of like a lawyer circumstance, to being something that people worship and have like mixed in with God? So Satan has been called the accuser, the one who tests us. And this is something that rabbis will tell you. If you go on, Google on YouTube, you will see that. Let me see if I can find that one rabbi that was talking about it, because that would be interesting here. Had a rabbi talking about it. A lot of rabbis will tell you about Satan, but they've all got a little, you know, got a little different. I don't know if I'm ready to just like randomly play one of these rabbis. I'd rather play one that I've actually like seen. All right. Oh, what's that? Oh, come on. I might have to look through my history, because I think I recently played it. I know this is not the most entertaining of live streams. I don't have people talking to me so much. We don't have a lot of people coming in. The more chat that we get, the better. Let's see. Let me see if I can pull some people in. So the thing is, Facebook does not seem to like when we share links anymore in groups and comments and things like that. It pretty much like will just freeze it and not let it publish. So let's see if it will let me even share that. Oh, there it did. No, it didn't. It's pending. So yeah, never mind that one. That was sweet. I just said that Billie Eilish was drop dead gorgeous, and it's one of my friends said that I would too. Oh, that's so cute. Thank you. Gosh, I don't feel like that, but cool. Actually feel a little bit ill right now. Oh, maybe it's anxiety from performing, or performance anxiety, or what? Might have been something I ate. Okay. But yeah, I'm getting suddenly stuffy, so what's going on? Okay. What's going on is that I want some ginger tea. Ginger would be good right now. I love ginger. invite your friends. I don't know. Like, it's not like there's a lot going on there. I'm just trying to see what I can see here. Maybe I should play some cool music for a minute. Let's see. Mm-hmm. What's Powerbotics? No, not that song. Mm-hmm. Whoa. So interesting. Whoa. Thank you for liking the music. Oh god, this goes on forever. That is funny. Clip, clip. With some German. Well, that wasn't the song I was looking for. Ooh, it is clipping. That's really weird. So this is this little tech experiment. That is funky. So I don't really like that. Mm-hmm. That was not the song I was looking for. I'll put the pretty music back on. It's like using my little speaker here. So, all right. Well, let's bring up this guy here. Hmm. I don't know, bro. Maybe you were really sick with something because like I'm feeling like a little bit nauseous right now. A little nauseated. Actually, nauseous is not technically a word. I've heard that is not a word. Hmm. Oh, that was trippy looking. Those infinite screens just going forever. Surreal. We got a surrealist stream happening. Okay, so we could share this guy. All right, let's see what Rabbi is talking about here.
Between God and the devil? Great question. The answer is in Judaism, the devil is an employee of God. The devil or the Satan is created to tempt or test us human beings.
So he's already saying that the devil is an employee of God. And I'm just going to have to say that is basically like he's saying that the Hebrew people are playing God. Okay. They are actually pretending that they know what's up in regard to everything that God does. I know. I hope I didn't get sick either. But like, yeah. I did just eat a little soup, like a little some kind of soup. But yeah, my tummy's feeling a little gurgly. It's weird. Anyway, we'll see what happens. And I'm stuffy. Nose is stuffy. Change of seasons is happening too. This solar eclipse is kicking my butt. I had like a really kind of bipolar day, and I'm not usually like having mood swings like that, but I went from feeling like an uber god, like, oh yeah, bring it. You know, you all want to tell me that I'm arrogant and that I've got something going on where I think I'm better than everyone. Well, yeah, it's because I am. And then what happened? Oh, pride cometh before the fall. I felt like a piece of shit like an hour later after that. So, you know, it's amazing how things will just like catch you by surprise and humble you sometimes, or, you know, remind you. You get reminders that you are still a fallible human being with flaws and character traits or temper issues or whatever it is that like you really need to work on, because it is not serving. It's not constructive at all. But anyway, so we're saying that Satan is an employee of God because, you know, God told us that, you know, like, well, obviously, if everything is God, Satan would have to be a byproduct of God. But like, this guy is gonna up and say that he's literal like employee of God. Like, yeah, God's the boss. And he tells Satan, hey, mess with those people because, like, I'm God. Like, I'm not doing that dirty work. You go mess with them. You know, like the universe needs to generate its own little evil so that like we can have something to be challenged by, right? Yes and no, because we are byproducts of the creator, the universe, whatever you want to call it. Like we respond by the void, basically. So from the void we have come, to the void we shall return, or even from mind we have come, to mind we shall return. Mind and void are really basically not basically, quite matter of factly the same thing, analogous with one another. Pure mind is void. It is beyond words, it is beyond description, it is beyond any illustration, image, shape, form, color, costume, label, appearance, all these things. So that gives us the liberty to create anything we want from void. It gives us the liberty to just make. Did I just smear my eyebrows? I don't know. No, they're all right. I don't have eyebrows. Anyway, to make void into a thing, you know, and to deny that void is even there. It's very easy to cover void with something. It's just like making a painting. You know, usually when people look at a painting, they don't say, look at that canvas. What is on that canvas? Usually it's just the painting. We just take it for the painting that it is. We don't acknowledge that it is on a canvas. That's a canvas. You know, it's very much like that with the void and anything that we decide to spawn from our own creative whims or directives or motives or whatever it is. So, you know, maybe I need to put a sweater on or something. It's like kind of a little bit chilly. Hold on a sec. I'll be right back. So, staying on a live stream for 3 hours is definitely not easy, especially since there's not a lot going on here. And God, I mean, I think I really need to make a bunch of people angry so that they come in here just to attack me. I mean, that's just like the way people are these days. They're negative polarized. And if you say something that is offensive or insulting to a group of people or annoying or whatever it is, if you get under their skin in some way, you're basically going to get a lot of attention for the controversy that you have created. And it's just the way it is. Blah. There you go. Since we're talking about the devil, I'll put on my horns. Keep my head warm. So, no, maybe I shouldn't. It's because my hair. I just paid to get a blowout. My bangs aren't that great anyway. Like I didn't spray them or anything, but whatever. Hold on. Okay. I tried to brush them out really quick. It's just like, I don't know how to take care of myself. I've been such a mess. Anyway, so this rabbi, I mean, this is the thing with religion. It's so easy to get annoyed by religions because it's doctrinaire, it's dogmatic. People speak as if they have absolute knowledge, and it is the fact of the matter. They are standing in for the absolute. They are basically trying to eclipse the stuff that those who worship the truth do. You know, like I don't think there's anything better to worship than the truth. How do you get messed up by that? You know, how can you get caught up by revering that which is true and real? You know, you really can't go wrong with worshiping truth and facts and stuff like that. And a lot of atheists don't seem to understand that there is religion out there that worships the truth, like Sikhism. Sikhism exclusively acknowledges God as truth. You know, Satnam, Waheguru. You know, Satnam is the name is truth. True is the name. You know, that's even my name. My name is truth. I am true. Satnam. Satnam Waheguru. You know, like the name of the truth is the glorious God, the guru, teacher, the glorious teacher, Satnam. The name is the glorious teacher. Anyway, so the name of truth is the glorious teacher. It's basically the translation of Satnam Waheguru. So anyway, what do atheists do with that? Huh? You know, because it's like, I might actually be Sikh if I only think that the truth is the only thing. But then again, there's a lot of nihilistic atheists. Atheists are often nihilistic. They're also nihilists. Mostly because they don't have a very broad scope of understanding the theological varieties of the world. You know, this is a really interesting book I just picked up yesterday from the library, Isms. And yeah, don't say anything else about it, Kralovna, because I know that you you know a little bit more than the average viewer does in regard to what goes on. Anyway, so yeah, we have like all the isms. We got baptism, like all the isms, like Baptist, so baptism, the evangelical Protestant Christian Baptists. So, you know, maybe if you're an atheist, you might want to go through something like this, but I have a feeling this might actually just help you become more of an atheist. the way that it depicts all the religions. I haven't really gone through the whole thing yet, but I have a feeling that there's something going on where it's actually it's preferred for people to go the atheist way, so that we never really seek to establish guidance from higher power. Because if we were all to be well guided by higher power, then we wouldn't be so easily deceived by ideas such as Satan being God's employee. Sorry, but if Satan is God's employee, then that would make us God, and that would make Satan a mode in us. So that's what I am saying is really going on, because the idea of the Satan came from the Jewish court. It was the one who worked in court to challenge the convictions of the jury in order to be sure that that conviction was absolutely true. The Satan helped with the final judgment. Final judgment is also the last judgment is acknowledged by esoteric Christianity as the literal truth. And that makes a lot of sense to me, because the literal truth is going to be something you can't back out of. It's everything you say or do. That's literal truth. Everything is true. And that's what was really meant, in my opinion, when the Buddha said everything is true. When I first read that little snippet from Buddhism, I was like, what? What kind of shit is that? Everything is true? I know that people lie. I know that, there's a lot of deception happening. How can everything possibly be true if there's a whole bunch of lies going on also? Well, if you really think on it long enough, that means, yeah, everything is true, because even if there's a lie or a deception happening, it's truly a lie or truly a deception, or it's truly true. So, all right, let's just finish this. What else? Okay, so he's a employee of God who does what now? All right.
But it's not like the devil or the Satan wants us to listen to him. He's hoping we don't listen to him, but he's just doing his job. The Satan is on the W-2 working for the big boss, not like other religions where there's God and the devil and they're having this big war and we're stuck in the middle. Now you know. Follow my account for more Jewish information. How does the Torah view the relationship between God and the devil? Great question.
All right.
The answer is
replay, because it's a short. So you get it. So this dude, he's saying that Satan is an intensely psychologically involved thing with us. Yeah. That it tests us. Actually, sure, kind of. If you want to blame other factors in life that challenge you. Yeah, it's a good point the Buddhists have, though. Everything is true. You can't escape the truth. There is no escape from what is true and what is real. Once you have done the thing, it can't be undone. Once you've said the thing, it can't be unsaid. It is what it is. It's best to just cop it and take responsibility for it, own it, and be like, okay, I did that. I said that. Not like, oh, I didn't do that. I couldn't possibly. Like, no, you did it. You did that thing. So, anyway, the Satan is something that we actually could stand to embrace in ourselves. This is what has come in for me in my intuition, in my downloads, whatever you want to call it, over the last 2 days. That the Satan is actually, well, I used to say, "Hail Satan," in regard to those who come at me adversarially, because, Satan also means adversary. And so, or the accuser. And I've said Hail Satan to that aspect, because when that comes in, you can transform that kind of interaction into a bit of a blessing for you, that you're being challenged, that your patience is being challenged, your view and your perspective is being challenged, your attitude is being challenged. And if someone else is coming in to do that to you, then it gives you an opportunity to wake up to what you're doing a little bit more and consider, that there's some kind of implication, there's some kind of an implication, there's some kind of consequence for every action. There's a consequence for acting arrogant, for acting like you know everything. If you act like you know everything and you're on a social media platform and you're writing up like a whole storm about how you know this and you know that, and then people come at you and they're like, yeah, but no, because of these other things, or they just come in and they challenge your self-worth, or they challenge your self-esteem, or how solid you are in regard to your confidence level, and they just call you a name straight up, or they just call you stupid or whatever. Then you can work on, oh well, I can stand to be more neutral in that. Instead of getting angry, I can stand to just like be detached from what is happening here, and just say, okay, thank you, instead of get like heated and get pulled into it. And boy, I just visited my mother, and that was a huge challenge for me, that I failed. Like they say, if you really think you're enlightened, go hang out with your family. Yeah. That is quite a test. That is quite a test there for anybody's patience and things like that. When you get back with your family after you have grown in what you consider to be leaps and bounds, and they want to hold you to your past, and they want to tell you're exactly how you used to be when you were, I don't know, a teenager and hormonal and frustrated or whatever. And it's like, yeah, you left a huge impression on that person, and they can't get out of that. They can't see you in any other way. It's very sad, and you can make it worse for them by acting out, um, just in the way that they remember you as when you were an angry teenager, like, huh, I mean, yeah, my mother said something like, "Oh, I have the power to turn you into a 2-year-old again." And I'm like, "Really? That's interesting. When I was 2, at least I was speaking in complete sentences, and I was a fairly advanced 2-year-old. So, hey, at least I was less messed up, I would say. I was like more of a less, I don't know, less tainted character." But yeah, terrible twos. Anyway, so this Satan can be something that's part of your own of your own conscience. It's something that we can stand to adapt, to adopt, or recombine, reintegrate into our own um conscience, as something to challenge our convictions. This goes back into Buddhism, because Buddhism argues that we have either 16 or 65 or so wrong convictions. It's funny that different Buddhist sects or whatever branches of Buddhism, we have all these schisms, because of course, since the teachings of the Buddha evolved or devolved into an ism, it grew dogmatic beliefs, which was diametrically opposite to what the Buddha was trying to actually teach people. Buddha was trying to teach people to avoid dogmatic thought, to avoid dogmatism. And what did we do? We turn it into a religion where you really can't help but be dogmatic, you know? So, All right, I want to stop sharing that thing. Stop sharing. There we go. Yeah, there's just a very important aspect with the Satan thing and with Buddhism. And, Buddhism has their own Satan too. That Satan is called Mara, which is interesting because it's like Rama spelled backwards. And that's pretty interesting in itself. But anyway, Buddhism expects you to let go of your attachments, and your attachments are said to be a source of your suffering. And so if you are to let go of your sufferings, you have to let go of your attachments, you have to let go of your convictions, you have to hold your verdicts that you've made, when you make conclusions about something that you are experiencing. It's best to just let that have a question mark over it instead of a period and be like, yep, we got it, we figured that out, let's move right along to the next topic. It's not really going to work out that way. If you keep doing that, you end up delusional, you end up having a false idea about what's actually going on in life, and that is how mental illness comes about. So subtly, we're being encouraged to be mentally ill in this world, and it's just sad. I can't believe there's so few people. But then again, I guess I can, because this is how it's been for a very long time for me. I'm destined to be shut out, to be shunned, to be avoided. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like nobody wants to go off of Facebook and go onto YouTube. Yeah. I mean, what do I do? Was it hard to find my live stream? Or you just go to the Goddess Yoga thing and it's right there? Probably just go to the channel, right? Shadow band, shadow work. That's what's up. The shadow band, shadow work. Maybe I should just try doing this every Sunday night for a little while and just see if I can actually like get more people. It's just kind of like getting a regular rhythm going. Yeah. Switch to Facebook. Yeah, Facebook Live. Facebook Live doesn't work either. Yeah, it's just like I told people that it would be here. There were 17 people who said that they were interested in going in the channel or in the invite. But where are they? 19 people. 19 people said they're interested. Let's see. All right, I'm just like hitting some invite buttons here. Here we go. Live. I'm just putting some announcements on Facebook. Live now, talking about how important Satan is for your Buddhist practice. Satan is Buddha's helper. Oh, there we go. Oh, this will be a good one because Jewish people, they're about to come in and get pissed off at me. I want to see some Jewish people fucking want to slam down, but they won't. The thing is Jewish people are intelligent and they would rather actually get down with some intellectual stuff. Usually. Let me see. I'll specify conservative Jews, conservative Orthodox Jews want to say that it is God's employ. Okay. So, see. Well, I'm not talking about how important Satan is for your Buddhist practice. Satan is Buddha's helper. But the conservative Orthodox Jews want to say that it is God's employee. Well, is Buddha God then? I don't think that's necessarily like defaming. That's not defamation. That's not anti-Semitic. It's just the way it is. It's just what's up. I don't know. Don't hate. All right. So yeah, Satan can actually help you not be mentally ill if you incorporate Satan alchemically with your faculties of perception. So that's the interesting thing. You know, if you incorporate Satan in with your faculties of perception, then Satan will come in and challenge what it is you are thinking, what you're perceiving, what your motives are, what it is that you, what your human determinants are, the determining factors for your behavior. So I might have to go to sleep. I might have to just like be like, all right, that's it. But thought I'd give it one more little stab in the dark here with a couple of these groups. See, like they're just going off on. See, like I posted something. Fuck it. I'm just gonna share YouTube. I'm gonna share Facebook. I will share the street with the screen with the Facebookies. There we go. So this was something I got 146 responses from since 10:30 a.m. yesterday. I posted this. I got 146 responses, 149 comments, 9 shares. People shared this all over the place. And for a change, holy fuck nuts, it wasn't me that shared it all over the place to be like, oh, is someone actually going to like read this? Will somebody like relate to it or have anything to say? For once, people just went off on it. So yeah, Buddhism is not a religion. Religion has been designed to create breakage between one thing and another, to encourage confusion and produce unquestioning believers. The teachings of the Buddha encourage us to inquire and avoid dogmatic thinking. Examine things and ask, why does the Buddha say everything is true? Do you know why everything is true? Do you understand that the life is suffering quote is shorthand for the fact that the 5 sufferings or poisons are also the same as what is taught in yoga? Do you ever wonder why we simply say life is suffering rather than the root cause of all sufferings in life can be reduced to the 5 primary causes, and these causes can be further traced to their primary root of ignorance? So yeah. And also, have you noticed that there is even dogmatic thought that is passed around in this present day about ignorance and judgment? How many wrong convictions are there? This cannot even be settled by many Buddhist adherents. Does it matter how many wrong convictions there are? Perhaps even the conviction of how many convictions there are is arbitrary and yet another invitation of troubled mortal minds to step right into another trap of dogmatic thought and wrong convictions. Because, you know, this is also a big deal that we do not ask enough questions. The powers of inquiry have been basically bred out of us. And I was writing something earlier in a response in the Gnostic Esotericism group about how school is really a place for you to encounter so-called information gatekeepers who put you through a process of being molded and shaped and manipulated and bent and warped to their preference so that you can be in a state that is malleable, pliable, and easily utilized for the purpose of industrial grooming. So there is a lot of industrial grooming going on, and it goes all the way back to these religions. These religions have been said to not only be like an industrial grooming tool or a societal slavery tool, but these religions have been enabling animal husbandry. And I know, like, yeah, some of us eat meat. I haven't really been into eating meat for a while. I've been vegan for 10 years, and I just kind of fell off the vegan wagon and started eating a little bit of meat here and there. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to avoid eating a lot of meat anymore. And after you get back into meat, though, it's like a drug. It's like, oh, well, I stopped using heroin for so many years, but oh, I went right back to it. Oh, oops. You know, God, I hope nobody records that little bit and just like shares it and says, oh, she said she did heroin. No, I don't do heroin. I'm not interested in heroin. I'm not interested in doing drugs, especially for the purpose of feeling self-fulfilled or happy in my life. But anyway, yeah, so wrong convictions. That's a really big part of very important bit. It's cutting out. That's interesting. Why is it cutting out? Because I'm talking about industrial grooming. You're like, see, this system of interwebs don't like me. I am targeted, basically. I think I need to go to sleep. I'm just like, I need to get my beauty rest. I need to work on my little eyes, getting like less baggy so I can get my sleeps. And I'm just really not seeing a lot of people come in. So I'm just going to cut this short. And it was fun, though, to at least try. Yeah, it was a good first try. I'm glad that the screen share was not difficult, and I didn't really have to download extra software for it. It's just all there. So that's great. We'll try again another time, maybe next Sunday or maybe another night, because Sunday night people are getting to bed. They're in their quiet time. They're ready to just turn in. So maybe I'll do it another night. Maybe I can coordinate times with people. I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much, Kralovna Modra, for being here. And I will see you later. Good night.